you, Sean?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
You're welcome, and I hope I pronounced your name right.
Of course, yes.
I kind of always get it mixed up with like scenes sometimes.
Understandable. No, yeah, you got it.
So I want to dive into your work and what you do. Can you walk us through what you do?
Yeah, so I've been a director and producer for close to about 2 years now, and I've helped with a short film, uh, well, national film a couple of years ago called Are You Worthy? It's a horror film, and I believe it's on Tubi, if I remember correctly. And I've also directed my own short film as well as running podcasts with those in the entertainment industry.
Nice. How um
Yeah,
how long have you had your podcast for?
I've been doing podcasting for a little over a year now, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's nice. Can you tell me more about the short film you worked on?
Yeah, absolutely. So it follows two two guys who find themselves. First off, it's called The Other Side. That's my passion project that we created last year. It's called The Other Side, and it follows two men who find themselves trapped in a fallout shelter, a bomb shelter, if you will. And their world is not doing so great. So they kind of have to learn to survive in each other's company, being two very different individuals who don't really understand one another.
Oh, that's a nice plot line. I like that.
Thank you. We took inspiration from things like American Horror Story and Twilight Zone, uh, stuff like that. It's kind of supposed to make you think. It's supposed to make you feel.
I have to check that out.
But yeah, the podcasts are all about people who are in the entertainment industry, and we talk all about what's going on in the entertainment industry. We talk about advice to those who want to get more into it. We talk about the entertainment industry and how it's changing, how you can get more involved. It's been a pleasure talking with people involved and getting to kind of just shadow people a little bit and learn myself too.
Nice. Who are some of your favorite guests that you've had on?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I have to think favorite guest. I got to interview some of the cast members from Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Uh, that was an amazing experience. I got to work with the press team for them, and I've also gotten to see some big Hollywood producers. Jamie Lee, she's worked on stuff like Pirates of the Caribbean, and she's done all sorts of big movies. And I got to interview Justin Shankro, as you guys are familiar with him. Justin Shankro has been absolutely wonderful. And man, it's kind of like catching up with friends, you know. It's hard to pick a favorite.
Definitely. That's it is a tough question, and I always like hearing about who people have interviewed and like how many, you know, favorites they have and stuff because there's a lot of people working in the industry.
Yes, yes. It's an ever growing industry and ever evolving industry. So getting to stay in the know and the how has been a blessing to me, honestly.
That's great. I I've listened to some of your interviews and I like how you know the approach to things and the questions you ask are always great stuff. checking out your channel a bit before I got on the call here, and I really like what I've checked out. And your username is just so unique, and I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, Mahoney Cinema Creations came from my last name. I wanted to incorporate my name into a legacy. And my dad and I were talking one day and came up with Cinema Creations, and it kind of stuck with me, and I really liked it. So it's a team effort of how the name Mahoney Cinema.
That's great. I like that. That's a nice story.
Thank you.
I have to and liking things on my channel and stuff, and wanting to come on my podcast. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and I wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure getting to know you guys, and you guys have been support as well. It's been nice working with each other. That's what this industry is all about.
Yeah, if you don't like support one another, it's like it goes nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta. The biggest lesson that somebody can give to me in this industry is just be kind and you have to work with everyone. You have to show appreciation. It's really the key to success.
It is. I mean, I've been in this industry, well, the nostalgic industry for like 3 years, but I'm starting to get my way into the entertainment industry a little bit. I mean, I've been to so many conventions.
You never know. It's all about finding your foot in the door and seeing what works best for you. You know.
Yeah, I've been I've been wanting to like create I've been a big fan of like films and everything, and it's interesting that you said about short films because I love watching short films, and I think that's a great creative outlet.
It is. It is. Yeah, my parents when I was younger, they used to take us to movies all the time, and they used to. I don't know if you remember those old home video cameras that people used to use.
Do you have any favorite movies? I know it's another hard question, but
And my friends were just going down top 10 favorite movie lists of all time for us. So my top two, I would have to say Harry Potter and Back to the Future.
oh, good movies. I like Back to the Future.
Yeah, those I can watch those films any given day. Just never get tired of seeing them.
I've seen a little bit of clips, but I haven't seen the show yet. I want to, but I haven't gotten to see that yet.
Okay, okay, we'll have to try and see it and talk about it one day.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have a DeLorean that I built. I'll have to show you a picture of that.
wow, that sounds really cool. That
Yeah,
sounds really cool. I'm not too sure where it's at the moment.
I have a mini hoverboard too somewhere. I need to find that.
That's nice.
Yeah,
But I think I saw that you posted something about you guys working with Justin Sangro on something the other day.
yeah. Thanks for asking about that. Um, I am working on a book with Justin, and it's about a lounge singer named Jacob Mosley, and that's what you've been seeing here and there, like a little bit of Justin's performance as Jacob. And it's a really interesting story how that came about. And I mean, it's just been one of the funnest things like ever. And I am so grateful for Justin wanting to work on this with me.
That's awesome. So I can remember when you started posting that.
Yeah, yep. It started out as a simple cameo, and it just stuck, and you know, that's the power of cameo. Um, it's really I'm really fortunate because number one, you don't know like when you request a cameo if they can do it or not, and it's like, okay, what if they can't? I didn't know how it was going to go, but he did an awesome job with that. Still is, still is doing an awesome job.
And the fact that he's still working, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I never well I know I always want.
It allows us to slowly dive into other stuff.
It does. Um, I wanted to talk about how I discovered your page and your channel a little bit, just circling back to uh, how I found that. I was scrolling on YouTube one day and I saw that you did an interview with Justin, and it's interesting because I should tell the origin story real quick if you want to hear about it. Of
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Yeah, the original story. So the original plan that I had when I was working on it myself for the book was called The Trial of Erican King. So Erican is Jacob's manager, and Erican like would get into a lot of trouble, and Jacob wasn't even like Erican's client at that time. Jacob was actually his lawyer. So
Oh,
things
wow.
things have drastically changed when Justin came on to the project. When I decided to revisit it, I had it shelved for months when I was working on it because I just, was wrapped up into nostalgia full time, and that took away a lot of my writing time.
Right, right.
So I just shelved the project and forgot about it, and now it's like it's back on, and it changed for the better, I think.
Well, good, good. Yeah, it's all it takes is one person to push you forward, and you get you to be motivated to do it. And I think you found the right person for that. You definitely found the right person for that. Justin is definitely a motivator.
Yeah, I think I found the right person too, because he inspired me to like pick it back up and said I should like start writing this, and then I was like, whether you want to write this together, and he was like, yeah. So that's how it all started.
That's great.
Shout out to Justin.
Yes. Um, yeah, that's actually, it's funny that you say that. That's kind of how I got started. Is a friend of mine reached out and asked me to help him with some movies that we filmed, and one thing led to another. We formed a partnership, and then I decided, well, if I'm going to form a partnership with somebody, I might as well have a name attached to it, and that's how I started pitching. It really just takes one person to believe in you to get yourself started.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I never been the type to like work with someone when I was like in like school and all that, because like I would just hate group work. I don't know what it was about it, but like now, since I'm older, I have gotten like to the point where I would like to do group work. So that was really cool to me. Like, hey, I should have a partner in this, and it's amazing what it can do, what it can lead to.
Absolutely. Yeah, you never know. It's all about putting in
Yeah, it's that's a good point.
And one of the biggest things that I've learned being a director and a producer and a writer of shorts myself is you have to be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That is the worst thing you can do. Uh, People here want to succeed. It's not like your typical 9 to 5 job, right? Like it's art. Um, Art is telling stories, making movies, painting a picture, taking a photo, and people want to see it. People want to see art. They want to see it. So never be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm learning. I mean, it took me a while, but I'm learning that, and that's some good advice there.
You can't hold it to yourself.
Yeah, it's really like lonely if you like kind of don't ask for help either, and kind of a hard process to do on your own. Like you need a network and you need people.
You do. It's all about building a community, and that's hard. It's not easy. It's quite hard to build a community. It's quite hard to get yourself out there and not be afraid. All that stuff. It's hard to do that, but once you get past that fear, it takes off. It takes off. It does. It does. Uh, Trust me, from somebody who wrote a script 10 plus years ago, shelved it for 10 years, and then came back to it because I got over the fear. And then put something on the shelf forever if you want it to light burn. Uh, Best advice that I can give to somebody in this industry, I would have to say is to be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to show your true colors and what you can do and what you're capable of. And don't let anybody tell you you're not capable of it because that stuff eats you alive more than you realize. You need to show the world your talent and you need to show the world what you're capable of.
Amen to that. That's great. That's great, great advice. See, I'm not good at like giving advice, but that was some good advice.
Thank you. Thank you. I've had some pretty good mentors along the way in the industry.
That's good. That's good that you like, you know, you were talking about like how like it is how hard it is to like build a community. I'm glad you are like building a community, and I'm glad to be a part of that.
Thank you. It's good to have been a part of it. In the nostalgia community, it is. You get to feel both my childhood and your childhood and getting to see all these posts and things that I don't even remember, but seeing them, I remember it. It's a good feeling to relive that.
Yeah, I started the nostalgia channel thinking, okay, I'll just do this for fun and everything, and I didn't think people would catch on, but people did, and that's the greatest thing I could ask for.
It's something that you can't expect, right? Fame doesn't happen overnight. Notice doesn't happen overnight. But if you keep your passion going, you'll get there. You'll get there for sure. I mean, how many followers did you start with?
I started with about like, let's see, maybe 100,
How many do you have now?
like 40,000 something, 46,000, I think.
It's all about dedication, and you're doing it now. You're showing dedication. You're showing that you care about the people in your community. You're showing that you care about the love of the nostalgia channel. That's what matters. You just gotta keep the grind up.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Like you do what you love.
That's what what life is about. It's all about doing what you love and don't really worry about what other people think because at the end of the day, the thing that matters is what you think about yourself and about what you're doing.
Exactly.
And it's okay to let your weird side show a little bit. Weirdness, weirdness makes creativity and it allows us to really dive into ourselves.
It does. Um, I wanted to talk about how I discovered your page and your channel a little bit, just circling back to uh, how I found that. I was scrolling on YouTube one day and I saw that you did an interview with Justin, and that was that was like the best interview I think I've ever seen.
Thank you so much.
Um, I wanted to talk about how I discovered your page and your channel a little bit, just circling back to uh, how I found that. I was scrolling on YouTube one day and I saw that you did an interview with Justin, and that was that was like the best interview I think I've ever seen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
You're
Means a lot.
welcome. I don't watch
Um,
podcasts often, but that I rewatched it, and I loved it because like the questions you asked, like really, I love the questions and like I know my podcast ain't like all questions based, like I just go off of whatever, but like you had it really set up, and I love that.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, when I get somebody who's interested to come onto the show, the first thing I always do is I do my homework on them. Right? I research what they were in, what they're part of. I research what what their overall goal is. I research what they're doing now. And the questions take about a week to write up and to really figure out how to lead the conversation, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does.
The biggest thing when it comes to podcasting is don't be afraid to lead conversation, like what you're doing right now. Um, Leading a conversation is honestly how a podcast works, and it's so fun to see your guest reaction to things.
Yeah, it I've actually this podcast just came back this year. I had it like dormant for like 2 or 3 years, and it's crazy that I'm getting interest in it now, and it's nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's the best you can do is learn. You know. Do you think you'll do this more full time?
I don't know. I mean, maybe like a couple times. I have some topics that I want to talk about, like myself, but I don't think it's like needs to be like a podcast format. But I don't know. I don't know if I gain any more interest in this or not.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're gaining interest now, keep the momentum going. Don't be afraid to keep it going because the more you show interest, the more others are going to show interest too.
Yeah, that's how it usually is, and it's nice. It's nice that I've gotten like um your interest, and I was actually very surprised that someone wanted to be on here, and that was quite nice. So thank you for that.
Of course. Yeah. No. When I saw you interview Justin, I felt we had a connection there. I felt there was something we had in common ground, and I figured
How was your interview with Justin? How do you think that went from your?
perspective, I gotta be perfectly honest. I was not expecting it to go the way it did. So funny story about that. I actually messaged him out of the blue. I said to him, "Hey, listen, would you mind being a guest on my podcast? Would you mind just talk about the industry and what you're up to? I would love to talk to Arnold with you." And he said, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Let me know when." I gave him a couple days heads up, and he was like, "Yeah, we can make that work." He hops on, and I looked at the message, and I went, "I never gave him my name. Never gave him a name. Never gave him where it's gonna be posted or anything. For all this guy knows, it could have been a gotcha channel." And he ended up just being perfectly fine with it. And I messaged him that night of the podcast. I'm like, "I never told you my name. I never told you anything. I'm so sorry. No, it's perfectly okay." And we get on the podcast. I'm like, "Dude, this could have been a gotcha channel." He's like, "I'm taking a chance here."
Oh wow, that is funny.
He really stuck his neck out. Yeah, and I think somebody who just produced a voice, somebody who is so involved in Nickelodeon, a whole bunch of other networks, and now currently creating his own show. It was a very interesting podcast to have with somebody who's a voice actor. I'll say that. I'll say that. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun getting to talk to him, and it was fun watching your interview because it was just so engaging. And I was like, oh, okay, he's done a lot of podcasts, but I mean, seeing yours and everything, I was like, wow, this is something I could try to fire up my podcast back for. So I did, and he agreed to be on, and it was just so surreal. Cause I never interviewed anybody famous. Like I just stuck with like interviewing friends and stuff, and it's like it's never been someone that has worked on any big name thing, you know?
Yeah. It's something when someone notices your work. It's another thing when someone wants to be a part of your work. You know, you don't think anybody will ever really take interest in it, and when they do, it's a surprise. And I'm glad that my interview inspired you to pick up the mic again.
Yeah, and I'm really glad for that too because if I didn't see that, I probably wouldn't have picked up the mic. I really wouldn't, and that's saying a lot because I don't know what made me click on that, but I'm glad I clicked on the video and watched it and listened to that twice because it was such a good interview and that's how that's how interviews should be and like I'm trying to learn so bad but like I don't write questions ahead of time. I mean I should, but like I never got the chance to interview famous people like I mean, I don't even call famous people famous anymore because I have so many famous famous people that are my friends and it's like they're just normal people, you know? It's
Yeah, they
crazy.
are. They are. Yeah. Once you get past the exterior of oh my god, they were in this and that, and you actually sit down and you talk to them, they're just like you and I. They're working their what's 9 to 5 to them, and they're working on what they love to do, and that's to entertain us. Uh, they want to talk about their work and they want to talk about their project. The thing about it is, so few people actually reach out to them to do so. So it's people like you and I that get this opportunity and get this experience that we get to have with them. And the best thing about podcasts, number one, they're so fun and it opens you up so much. Number two, you don't always need a camera on. Be as comfortable as you want, be as laid back as you want, and you can do it in the comfort of your own room.
Yeah, that's one of the things I do like about, podcasts and stuff. You can be pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, you can do it while you're out in the middle of the street walking around New York City and have a podcast. It's unbelievable. I have to say, I think the next form of television that we're gonna see grow in the next like 10 years is podcasts. There's already a couple shows out there that's podcast based. I think the form of entertainment that we're used to is changing, and I think podcast is the way to be right now. Podcast is the way to go.
Yeah, and I hope yours continues to grow because you have one of the best out there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you continue to pick up the mic, and I hope you continue to reach out to people. I want to see you grow too.
Thank you. Um, I wanted to ask like one more question. Have you ever been like, oh my god, I'm talking to someone really famous, like starstruck of anyone you interviewed? Have you ever?
That's almost every single podcast that I have done. And the thing about that is, you were mentioning earlier how you've gone to conventions, and I have done the same thing. I'm actually going to Fan Expo this year in Philadelphia. And I know that when I see all these guests there, I know I'm going to be freaking out, and I'm going to be like a kid on Christmas there, getting to talk to these people. But when I'm doing the podcast, you really have to kind of remind yourself that they're people just like us. Um, if you want to have a conversation, you have to kind of like show them that mutual respect there. And it's okay to, admire their work. Don't freak out though. That's that's how nerves creep in. First started, I had a podcast with somebody named Burgundy Williams, and I saw her on what was it, Hugh Jackman's Radio City Musical special that he was doing, and she came out and sang a song that was a part of. I don't know if you saw the movie The Greatest Show on Earth or The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, I've
Sorry.
seen that.
Okay, so she came out and sang Never Enough, and she blew me away. And we got started talking on Instagram, and she gave me a call on Instagram, and I remember I could have handled that so much better. The first phone call with her, I could have handled that so much better. I'm energetic and just more of a tryhard than I need to be. And when she was on my show, I had to like actively tone myself down. And I think if you watch it, you can see myself toning it down a little too much to the point where my energy is kind of non-existent, but it's there. And yeah, no, yeah, I freaked out, and I continue to freak out. It's not normal for me to be talking to people like this, but it's fun. And the fun part of it is starting to kick in. Once once you do it for a while, those nerves eventually go away.
Yeah, that's a good story, but wow. I mean, I get that with freaking out and stuff. Like that happens to me at like conventions if it's like the really big stars, but I will tell you the only time that I freaked out when I was talking to Justin was when he broke out in the character. That's the only time I freaked out with him because to hear somebody throw their voice and you're not expecting it,
Yeah,
it is just like wow.
yeah, it's incredible. You see somebody go from their normal persona to something completely different in like 0 seconds. It's very impressive.
It is.
But
I go to RetroCon in Oaks, um, Philadelphia, well, PA, and I I hear people like throwing their voices all the time there, and it's like, oh my god.
it's incredible. It's seeing such get to be a part of even if you just go to conventions or even if you just go to theaters and watch plays and see people live. It's such an amazing experience to get to be a part of something that millions of people love, and when you see it live for the first time and you see it happen for you for the first time, it's it takes you away. It takes you away, and it changes how you perceive on life. It's being a part of something that millions of people love. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world.
I couldn't have said that better myself. Entertainment is like the best form of anything. I mean,
Yes,
entertainment is just everything to me, and I'm a big movie fan, and I like watching movies and TV and stuff like that, and to see so many different movies and actors, and it's one of the greatest things.
it is. It is. Um, I think the best form of entertainment, though, is music because when you're at a concert, right, and you're listening to music and you look around and there's not a care in the world from anybody for 2 hours, 3 hours, or longer. It's just listening to music and mellowing out, and you get to feel the vibe from everybody at once. And there is never a greater feeling than knowing hundreds of thousands of people in that audience love the same thing as you.
It's funny that you say that because I love music. You'll see me post about music a lot on the Nostalgia channel, and it's just the greatest thing in the world. I think I loved music all my life, so I mean I have a record collection of 2,000 records and counting.
Wow, keep that record going. Keep that collection growing there.
Yeah, I have like everything from records to CDs to wall flags to like um, cassette tapes. Like it is crazy. My collection is nuts, and I have been to so many concerts too, and I just love it. If it's music, I'll marry it. I always like to say, me and music are committed.
Hey, why have a partner when you can sit down and listen to music, sort your feelings out, you know?
Yeah, music can say things that you can't say. It conveys the right
Absolutely,
feelings.
absolutely. And it hits home where nothing else can. It hits home where nothing else can, and there's always a song out there for everyone. There is.
Do you have any favorite bands?
Green Day.
Oh, yes, I love Green Day.
If I could pick one band to listen to for the rest of my life, it would be Green Day. I have seen them now live twice, and there is no other. I've seen countless of bands. There's no other show and no other energy that hits home like a Green Day concert.
I've seen a Green Day tribute band once, and that was great. The energy was amazing.
Yeah, it's it's something very different than any other band and any other form of music. It's it's a story. Listening to every single one of their albums.
I can remember when
Uh,
I first heard a Green Day song. I think it was um I think it was Basket Case was the first one I heard.
that is a good one. That's a good one.
And I was hooked from then on.
That is a good song. The first album I heard, and I was about maybe 10, was Dookie, and that is not an album that 10-year-olds should be listening to. But I listened to it, and when I was a kid, so I have a sensitive hearing and hearing loss, slight hearing loss, and when I was a kid, music bothered me. It just didn't sit right. But Green Day got me into music, and it changed my perspective on how music is.
That is so awesome. I could talk
But
about music for hours, and it's kind of like I'm kind of bummed that we got like to it in the like last um part of the like interview here, but we need to definitely chat more about music and everything.
I 100% agree. I think we can have a full podcast just on our favorite bands and music.
Yeah,
If I
we
may ask,
should.
before we depart, what's your favorite band?
My favorite band is Fall Out Boy.
Ooh, that's another good one.
I um
That's another good one.
I went to Record Store Day on April 18th, and they released their live concert album, and it's limited release for Record Store Day, so you gotta get up way early to get like a chance at even getting what you want. So the stores get so many copies in, and if they're gone before you get there, they're gone. You have to go scouring online. And I was lucky enough to secure my copy in person, and I was so happy. Fan of all time since 2020, and they helped me out a lot because 2020 was a bad year, and then 2021 was too. Not even like because of the pandemic standards, but if I didn't have Fall Out Boy, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah, you definitely need music to get you through everything. You know,
Yeah,
music music is one of life's greatest distractions and one of life's greatest emotional outlets.
definitely. Well,
Um,
I thank you for talking with me tonight.
of course, thank you. And to any listeners listening, please give them a follow and subscribe and hop onto my channel and check out the stuff we do. I think we're gonna work something out to have you guys on too.
Yeah, definitely. Um, where can people find you and your channel?
So I'm on at Mahoney Cinema Creations on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can also find me on Mahoney Cinema Creations on YouTube as well, which is where we post all of our podcasts.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much for having me on tonight. It was an absolute pleasure getting to talk with you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure getting to talk with you as well.